Hello, it's Kari. I'm here to one, introduce myself and also um make over this DBT diary card into a workable planning system in my hobonichi weeks. Um as you can see on the diary card, there are a lot of like really negative behaviors here. So I probably won't need to keep anything this detailed. But I do want to just use it as inspiration. So this layout is sort of like that was how I intuitively used the Hobonichi weeks, and now I'm kind of pondering how to incorporate my desires into a workable spread here. Um, and so while I'm here, I am about to make a little bit of a mistake and it's going to take a bunch of time. So I thought I would take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Kari. I write and I plan and I deal with mental health issues. I have bipolar disorder. So planning is one way that I sort of reclaim autonomy and control over my life. I have had a psychotic episode. Have had adventures, and I have to tell you more about them in the coming, content that I'll hopefully be creating. But for now, we're just looking at this diary card planner layout. So I added some stickers. I'm gonna add stars here. This is my like daily gratitude, single sentence of gratitude at the end of each day. I'm gonna put stars down on every entry, and you can see also on the right, I added a to-do column because I think that width is what I'm gonna wind up using. I end up using a little bit less, but we'll see here as it comes up. I grab my tombow and then I start thinking about different ways that I could implement the diary card. The diary card in DBT is sort of like how it invites you to like train your obsessive thinking into self-control. And it's been a really useful modality of therapy for me in my life. Um, but yeah, I'm just looking at this vertically here and thinking, what I want to do. Looking back at the diary card. The diary card has gotten a little bit more complex since I used it last. But I'm going to write down some apparently unimportant behaviors or behaviors that I would like to reduce. These are, also called target behaviors in DBT. But I want to reduce drinking. And the other behavior I want to reduce is overeating. Yes. So these are two things that I use to cope. Obviously they're not that great for me. So I want to be reducing drinking and overeating. And then I'm thinking, what do I want to encourage myself to do? What do I want to also be thankful for? And so realizing that I do have a lot of space here. It's a nice little planner. The pages are a little thin and there is some um, I use a really heavy hand when I write. So you can see that I'm making strong indentations on each page as I write, which is why I tend to um, use felt tip markers because those have less bleed through from me because a ballpoint like this uni that I'm clicking here on the left is going to have a little bit of indentation due to how hard I press when I write. going to change these stars to hearts. I think hearts are a better representation of what I want to be doing with this small section of my daily log. I also, as far as planning goes in the hobonichi weeks and really just like throughout my life, I kind of like to keep it to like one obligation a day. And, that seems maybe like minimal to some overachievers out there. But as somebody who deals with a serious mental illness, like I can't really commit to more than one important activity per day. So if I've got a doctor's appointment or a therapy appointment, like I don't plan other things for the day. So the hobonichi weeks being kind of brief does work for me. So I'm coloring in my hearts. And these will look better on future weeks, I'm sure, as I get into the planner more. This is a April start, hobonichi weeks. It's in Japanese, which is fine for me. I speak a little Japanese. I learned the days of the week and the months. So those are, kanjis that I know. One thing that I noticed about this planner is that the full moon phases are wrong. I am like a pagan-y person, so I do um like later you'll see that I've corrected some of the moon phase information because it is written with a Japanese time zone in mind. And so here you'll see the full moon indicators on the 2nd of April, but here in Central Time Zone, it was on the 1st. Looking back at the diary card, I am coming up with a plan. Well, actually, I'm stalling on coming up with a plan. So I'm just going to write in whether I work from home or the office this week on each day of this week. And I will be working from home all 5 days of this week. Some other employees are taking up my seat in the office, so I won't be heading to the office this week. I'll be working from home all week. And then I'll notate the weekend. Still just thinking about how I want to fill up the space on this planner. I really hate the skills tracker of the DBT diary card. Like, I've never found a way to make that useful. I've never had like quite as an obsessive way of paying attention to my own behaviors as the creators of DBT kind of want you to have, which is, like being aware of your own behaviors is important. But I don't know, like filling out, this 95-part questionnaire basically each day. Like, did I use this skill? Did I use that skill? Not my cup of tea. So I'm picking up my Tombow again. I'm going to highlight the notes section that I'm going to write. And then I've decided on making a heading for each day of the week in terms of my behavior tracker. So I'm going to put that top line all the way down. So then I'm getting inspired. And I think I know what I want to do here. So I put the bottom line all the way down. And then I'll turn it and then I'll put the sides. And each of these takes up 1 Each of these is the thickness of one whole square on the graph paper of the weeks here on the right hand side. Sorry, I went a little out of frame here. I'll get better. I'm just starting out. I'm new. Be nice to me. So now I have my behavior tracker boxes. I'm going to write the header for notes. And then I make a cross in the center of each of these boxes here. So I can track 4 behaviors, one in each of these quadrants of the box. I'm happy with how this came out, so I'm looking forward to YouTubing more and signing more, getting to know people and letting people in a little bit to my life. I've been pretty private and like to make some friends, you know? Okay, so looking back at the diary card, I think I have it planned out that I'm going to track 4 behaviors, 2 positive and 2 negative. I've already identified the 2 negative ones, so I'm really just kind of brainstorming what positive behaviors I want to track as well. So the 2 things that I think are really going to help me are walking every day. Sorry, you can't see. And then I also want to be reading every day, or at least listening to an audiobook, which I also can't as a reading. For some reason, yeah, my felt tip pen died, so I went to the matching ballpoint there. And I'm feeling pretty clever here because it's so DBT to turn it into an acronym. So I have WORD word for each of the behaviors that I want to be tracking: walking, overeating, reading, and drinking. So I put in the identifiers all the way down the page. Okay. And I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I'll update you probably next week because I'm gonna try and make weekly content. I'll let you know how it went, and we'll probably flip in the back and see what all I filled out in it. Nothing crazy. So thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate people clicking and giving me a chance. Bye bye. Hope you have a great week.